Welcome everyone to QB Power Hour. Today's Thursday, June 28th, 2018, and today's session is Video Marketing Strategy for Accountants. We'll speak briefly about the QB Power Hour and the CPE process, and we'll spend the rest of the 50 minutes or plus talking about video marketing strategy for accountants. Mostly, we're going to discuss, how to think about creating videos and what the videos, what the content needs to be, what the strategy, general strategy needs to be if you're going to create videos to promote your accounting practice. And in the long run, my suggestion is that video is quite possibly the best possible way to promote your business. QB Power Hour, it's a webinar series, usually twice a month or every other Thursday, really. The next episode will be July 12th and then July 28th. So we will go in the every 2 week schedule back to back. We don't have topics upcoming yet. Usually, especially nowadays, we're coming with these topics literally the day of or 2 days before because Michelle and I sort of do this in the middle of our business as well. We usually cover tips and tricks and advanced insights. Usually we do about 50% QuickBooks Desktop, 50% QuickBooks Online. But from time to time, we'll bring a special guest, talk about a third-party app, or do practice management type topics. This would be considered a practice management topic because we're going to be talking about marketing. Michelle Long is the co-host of QB Power Hour. She's not with us today because she's actually traveling. I believe she's in New Jersey doing advanced QuickBooks Online certification. Definitely check out her LinkedIn group that has over 160,000 members, people talking about QuickBooks and those type of topics. About myself, my name is Hector Garcia. I live and work in the Miami, Florida area. I teach QuickBooks in my own classroom, and there's my email and my Twitter handle if you want to contact me directly. This webinar is eligible for CPE, so if you're a CPA or a certified bookkeeper, you must attend the webinar live. The CPE is not available for the recording. You must be logged in for at least 50 minutes, and you need to answer at least 3 out of the 4 polling questions that we ask throughout the presentation or throughout the webinar. Usually give us 2 to 3 weeks to email your certificates. We have completed CPE certificates via email up to the 31st of May. So give me a couple of weeks and I'll get you caught up to June. So the table of content, this is what we're going to be talking about today. We'll talk about choosing your video style and content strategy. Then we're going to talk about some of the software and equipment that I recommend. A lot of folks sort of get stuck with the concept of equipment because they say, look, I don't have the right equipment, and because of that, I shouldn't be doing any video until I get the right equipment. I think that's something that people just overthink. So I'm gonna give you just like sort of the simplest, easiest to understand options for equipment, and then we're gonna talk about picking a platform from uploading your videos, and we'll talk about optimizing your content and how to monetize your videos. Real quick, I think I used the wrong date here. This is the 26th because it's always on a Thursday. So the next episode will be the 12th, July 12th, and July 26th. So thank you for letting me know that I kind of chose the wrong date there. Okay, why video? So let's start. Let's dig right in sort of like I want to sell you on the idea. I want to sell you on the idea that you should implement video as your main, most important, most dominant marketing strategy for you. So the first, most obvious one is you get to show off your expertise, and especially if you have a specialty or niche, you let the whole world know about it, and you can expand your market beyond your geographic location. I get clients that need QuickBooks consulting from all over the world because they find me in YouTube. So you definitely want to show off your expertise and specialty, especially if you're a specialist, because this is a great platform to allow you to have global reach. Also, you want to show off your personality. I mean, sometimes your personality is kind of part of the of your services. I mean, your personality could affect how you do your work and the type of clients that you want to attract. So if there's one platform for showing off your personality, it would definitely be um, a video or YouTube videos. You also want to differentiate yourself among similar service providers. I've been teaching video marketing for quite a while. I taught this in a conference in Scaling New Heights. I've done it in webinars. I think a few of you will be watching this, and this may be likely to be a repeat of something you watched in the past. And but not everybody implements it. I mean, people are just, they end up shying away from it, or saying they don't have time and not making the time for it. But at the end of the day, there will probably be a handful of folks worldwide that will be promoting the business via video. So you will definitely differentiate yourself amongst the crowd by having a YouTube channel where you explain what you do, how you do it, and all that stuff. The other really important piece is you can build a library to educate your current client. So if you happen to sort of be annoyed by having every client ask you the same thing over and over, like for example, it's almost universal, like every single client will not understand net income because it doesn't match the bank. And I always have to explain every single month, every single year, almost to every single client, the difference between net income and cash in the bank. So what I do is I create a video where I explain what it is. I explain what the profit and loss is. I explain what the balance sheet is, and I use that to then answer my clients' questions and force my clients to go to my videos instead of having to pay me or having to me spend time explaining the same thing over and over. So having a library just to educate your current clients is extremely efficient and extremely valuable. The other piece is, as I grow my team, I now have 6 to 7 people in my team. My videos now are used to educate my team members. So things that I learn, my team members have access to it, and they learn sort of along with me. So I have to now spend less time teaching my team members one-on-one. Actually, the people in my team, I hardly spend any time anymore teaching them stuff because I pour so much of my knowledge into YouTube. The other piece is, if you're going to be making videos, you're going to have to stay on top of your game. That means you're going to have to be perfect. You're going to have to know the content really, really well, up and down, in depth, with details, with caveats, in order to teach them in a video. Because at the end of the day, people will poke holes and point out things that you missed or you didn't cover in the comment section of your videos and things like that. So it's actually just a way to, it's a catalyst to force you to know the content really well. So I would say that's the spirit of why you want to go with video. The other piece is, what's the purpose of the content, right? The content that you create, and I would say this is quite possibly for all of the videos that are in YouTube, they're either going to be for entertaining purposes, and YouTube has a whole bunch of that, for education purposes, so you want to teach something to someone else, or to engage them. Like engaging them would be forcing them to take an action right after they watch your video, or encouraging them or inspiring them to take action right after your video. Now that action could be visiting your website. That action could be calling you for more questions. The action could be sending you an email if they have more questions. The action could be buying a product that you're selling. The action could be using that video to recommend your services to a friend and family member. So when you think about, before you create any video, what you want to say is, okay, what's the purpose of my video? Am I do I want to educate? Do I want to entertain? Or do I want to engage? Now, you could be in the middle of all three of them. Like maybe your video is perfect and it entertains, educates, and engages. And by the way, having a video that's right there in the middle where that red spot is, where it has a perfect harmony of the three, that would be, in my opinion, what a perfect video would be. And it would possibly a video that also goes viral. Now, in the accounting space, in the accounting world, not that many videos go viral, right? Because accounting just isn't that interesting. So for the most part, I think that you will be mostly focused on that education segment. So you will be more leaning towards educating your folks. But there are some folks that add jokes and add an interesting storyline in the process, and maybe entertain a little bit in the process. And of course, you want your videos to evoke some sort of action. The one thing I tell you, this is probably the most important piece. at the beginning, as you create videos, focus more on building an audience, building loyalty, and building trust with your audience. Don't focus too much on getting immediate business from your videos. You want to build a followership first. So I would focus first on educating, and then once you build a followership, you have 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, then start pushing people towards engaging, which means buying something from you or hiring you, whatever it happens to be. And then, of course, entertainment. Again, in the accounting industry, I don't think entertainment is that important. But if you want people to keep watching your videos and you want them to watch videos of topics that are not pertinent to them, and you want to sneak in education, to some folks that maybe are not looking to get educated in a particular area, you may have to build entertainment in it to get people to watch something that normally they wouldn't. So when you think about education videos, the watcher, their purpose is they want to learn a new skill, or they're looking to get a question answered. So if you're going to create an education video, you probably want to think about that topic, and the title of the video to be more in the lines of answering that question as they search these videos. Then entertainment, right? So if you're gonna create videos that have entertainment feel, the idea of entertainment is that people do watch the whole video because they prefer to watch your video rather than doing something else, and that only really works when people like you personally, or like the people that are making the video, because folks typically don't watch long entertainment videos if they don't like the personality that's of the person that's presenting it. So that's going to be personality centric or taste centric, and again, entertainment because you want people to feel something, laugh or smile or something like that while they watch a video. As I mentioned, engagement is to cause the viewer to perform an action, to subscribe to the channel, to call you, to hit like, to share the video, to visit the website, to email you, whatever it happens to be. So think about those three dimensions as your really high level strategies. Now let's talk about delivery methods. There's several ways that you can deliver videos. One, the most obvious one is YouTube. You can pre-record the video, post it in YouTube, or you can go live. I'll talk a little bit down the road. I'll talk about the pros and cons of pre-recorded versus live and why I like one and the other based on the circumstance. You can also post them in Facebook. There's three ways you can post videos in Facebook. One, on your personal profile. So if you actually want people that follow you personally to watch your videos, that would be a great place to put it. If you create a group of where folks talk and interact, that obviously is a great place to post a video if it's pertinent to the group or the group topic. And you want to create a business page and have your library of videos in your business page in Facebook. Now, other great tools to use is GoToWebinar or Zoom. For example, if you're watching this live, you're doing it through GoToWebinar. People don't think of webinars as videos, but the webinar platform records the video, so then you can post it into YouTube afterwards, which is how I post the recordings of a QB Power Hour. So I will run a webinar for the excuse of creating a video, so the folks that watch it live enjoy it, and then the folks that watch the recording in YouTube enjoy it as well. You can also use Zoom as an alternative to GoToWebinar. There's also educational platforms like Udemy, Teachable, or Thinkific. And you think of educational platform because you want to charge for your courses. So if you want to sell a video or a set of videos or a course, look into Udemy, Teachable, or Thinkific for that. Now let's talk about video styles. Now video is such an open way of communicating that there's so many different ways to create a video. The most common one is tutorial and webcam, right? This is kind of like how webinars feel, right? You have a talking head of the person that's talking, and then you will have somebody doing maybe a software tutorial or maybe some slides, right? So those are those two options you see there, the tutorial webcam and slides and webcam. You can also interview someone. You can interview a customer, you can interview a colleague. I would say that's the easiest. Interview a colleague that specializes on something that you don't. Even if you're recording it from your home office, like look, I recorded this from my home office and I interviewed Jim McGinnis. He used to be an Intuit employee from his home office, and it came out just fine. You can also do the talking head, which is just you looking at the webcam or looking at the phone, depending on how you record it, and you're explaining something. Or you could even take uh, something that you recorded audio only. Maybe you used maybe it looks like the you use Skype, or you used some, maybe an audio conference call that records, and you can take that audio and just post it into YouTube, and it's a video, quote unquote, but not really, because the video itself has no moving images, it's just audio. So you can make YouTube a place where you post your podcast, for example. Okay. Now, more video styles. For example, if you get something professionally produced, and I have a slide here where I'll tell you a great place to go get your video professionally produced if you're not too much into video editing and that stuff. You want to create a commercial with B-roll, and B-roll means that as you're talking, there's also images of maybe your clients, your office, your staff, that sort of thing. You can do in-person interviews, so you physically sit next to someone, turn your camera on, turn your webcam on, turn your phone on, and just have an interview. Interview again. Your colleagues are probably the best source for that, because you will be able to promote each other. You can also with Google Hangout or Zoom, which I think is a great platform for that. You can do group discussion. So maybe you want to get three colleagues involved, four colleagues involved, maybe yourself and a partner, an employee, maybe yourself and two customers, and just discuss business in general. Record it with Zoom, and you can post it into YouTube. And with Zoom, you can even go live on Facebook. Now, the biggest opportunity I would say right now, and I think most accountants are missing out on this, is using a phone app. And there's different applications you can use. There's one called um, X Mirage, and there's another one called Lonely Screen. These are like little applications you can install in your computer, and you can broadcast what's on your phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone, broadcast it on the screen, and you can show people how to use apps, phone apps. For example, on this one that you see here on the bottom right, I was showing someone how to use the QuickBooks app on the iPhone, and I was showing simultaneously how I create invoices on the QuickBooks app, and they update on the live QuickBooks online page. So you can do a lot of great things, especially when people have apps that connect to web applications, and you can kind of show the interaction back and forth. Now, once you build a followership, maybe you don't want a consistent fixed video style. I mean, look, I got one outside my house in my Porsche with a backwards hat on. I have one just kind of like just resting and having deep thoughts. I have videos in my car kind of explaining, hey, last minute, do your extensions. I do videos of reading off a book. If there's a book that's interesting, maybe you can read a chapter, or you can read something like that. I mean, some maybe a section, something you find interesting. And I have another video of me sitting in my backyard with a microphone hooked up to my phone, and I went live and just talking about maybe my week. You can do so many possible things that I think the possibilities are pretty much endless. Okay, so let's take a quick break to do a polling question, and I'd just like to ask you real quick, just out of curiosity, are you currently creating videos to promote your business? Plan to, or maybe you don't think you ever would do something like this. So we'd love to get your take on this. So are you currently creating videos to promote your business? Plan to? Just answer the polling question. No right or wrong answer. Just do need you to have answer the polling question if you want those CPE certificates. Okay, so we have about 86% of the votes. I will share the results so you guys get to see. We have almost 400 people in the webinar live. So if you're wondering what it looks like, if you don't mind, for the folks that said no, I don't think I ever would, put in the questions box the reasons why. I would love to address any of them to see if maybe I can convince some of you. So for the folks that say no, I don't think I ever would love to get some details on that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close the polling question. So for the folks that need their CPE, make sure that make sure they answer that. I close the polling question and share the results. So 9% of you said that you just started. Awesome. So that's 40 or 50. So I think that's great. 52% plan to. Awesome. That's great. Hopefully this webinar kind of gets you boosted. And 40% of you say that you never would. Now, some of the answers that I'm getting here in the chat box is I'm too shy. I honestly I don't understand how shyness has anything to do with it, because you're not in front of anyone else. You're just by yourself making the video. So I would probably, try to convince you that like with great if you want to make great strides and have great success, you may have to get over that fear of shyness. I do recommend if public speaking is something that you fear, check out something called Toastmasters. They're groups of people that basically help others do public speaking. Is relatively inexpensive. Somebody says I plan to retire next year. Okay, that makes sense. I work for a company where they take care of the marketing. Okay, that's great. Somebody says it's too much work and I don't work for free. You know what? My answer to that is, look, I do a whole bunch of work for free because I do a lot of videos. If you want to take the attitude that this is free work. However, I feel that I charge today a lot more than I used to charge a few years ago. I feel that I get to choose my clients. I feel that I get so many leads that I get to choose my opportunities, that sort of thing. Some people say that they fear the trolls. I guess the people commenting on the videos. Look, you can delete any comments that you don't like, from your YouTube. If people write negative comments, you can always delete them and even ban them from your channel. So I don't think that's that's a whole bunch of. I mean that shouldn't be an issue. And yes, I do answer some of them. If the people, you got some smart aleck people giving answers, that sort of thing, I don't mind it. Okay, so one thing I do tell you is we ask our clients, every single new client I have, we ask them, how did you hear about us? And 4 years ago, before I started video, most of the answers were referrals. You were referred by somebody else, which I think most accountants understand referrals very well. Today, 95% of my leads, 95% come from YouTube videos. I mean, it's becoming almost almost to a way that I don't think any other marketing proposal it's even makes sense to do other than video, because 95% of my clients are coming from it, and I don't spend any marketing dollars anymore. I mean, I bought the camera, I learned how to do recording, I bought software. I mean, most of it is time I had to spend to create the videos and learn how to create them. But at this point, I don't really spend that much money in marketing anymore, because all my leads, or practically all my leads, are coming from YouTube. Okay, so let's talk about choosing the topics. This is another thing that a lot of people get stuck on. They're like, well, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to make a video about. Look, there's a huge opportunity for creating basic academic theory of accounting and bookkeeping. Just making videos about assets, liabilities, equity. There's a huge opportunity for that. And some people think, well, Hector, there just isn't an audience. People don't care about accounting. People don't do that. Well, you know what? Check this out. I'm gonna open up YouTube just to show you that there is a big audience for it. So I'm gonna open up my browser here real quick. Where's my browser? There it is. And I'm gonna go into YouTube and show you. So I'm gonna go to YouTube, and then I'm gonna type the most boring thing you can think of: accounting basics. So I'm gonna type accounting basics. Okay. And the number one video for accounting basics was a video that was created 2 years ago, which is hardly any time. And it's called Accounting for Beginners: Debits and Credits, Assets, Liabilities, and Equity. Check it out. And if you actually watch that video, you will notice that the production values of this gentleman are not really high. He's just literally sitting in front of a camera and explaining in front of a whiteboard. And that's 1.2 million views. Now, are those 1.2 million views potential customers? Probably not. But if you just get 0.1% of that to turn into customers, that just pays for doing just one video. So I think there's quite a bit of opportunity just on simple accounting and bookkeeping academic theory. Also, talking about things that you specialize on, like if you're really good at finance or management or marketing, branding, sales, operations, do videos about that. Even if you're an accountant, do videos about that. That's actually much better. You can always say, hey, I'm an accountant, but I'm passionate about this, and talk about the things that you're passionate about. There's also software tutorials. I think most people think about software tutorials as kind of like the low hanging fruit videos. That's actually the vast majority of videos that I create are QuickBooks tutorials. I do some Excel tutorials and that sort of thing. But mostly I do QuickBooks. There's also lists. Like lists are very, very popular. Like top 5 reasons why you should reconcile your bank. Top 3 reasons why you should work for a major bank instead of a little bank to make your accounting easier. Top 5 reasons why banks decline your loans. And you can talk about profitability, solvency, things that I hope that accountants understand and know about. You can. Some people like to do storytelling and they'll do a personal vlog. I shied away from that. I'm starting to believe that people really don't care too much about about my personal life. So I wanted to set up a vlog of some sort. But right now, I just do financial literacy, accounting, management, software tutorials. I don't spend too much time doing videos about my personal life. Now, you can also do opinions about other videos. You can grab, put a link to somebody else's video. You can even, through the magic of editing, you can add maybe a snippet of that video and tell people what your opinion of that video is. Say, look, I love this video because XYZ reason. And then you're basically using somebody else's content to create your own content, which makes things very easy. Also, if you have a niche or a target industry that you work in, let's say you concentrate on construction or you concentrate on, I don't know, nonprofits, churches, whatever it happens to be. If you subscribe to like industry news and updates, you can use that information to create weekly or monthly videos to update people about the industry and things that are happening in that industry, taxation, regulation, stuff that affects them. So it's actually not that hard to come up with topics. I didn't list it there, but think about your favorite book, your favorite set of books. Why not? If you're a reader, why not, kind of do a series on your favorite book, and then every video explains a different aspect of the book. The author would love it because you're promoting their book, and that's where you're getting content from. Now, I want to talk about some tips and some things that people typically don't think about. I like to think of this of as like the tricks of the trade, the stuff that I learned, sort of the insider stuff. Number one, audio quality is more important than video quality. So if you have a good microphone, or if you can get your hands in a good microphone, don't worry about the quality of your video. Okay. A lot of folks are watching videos, quote unquote, while they walk and while they jog. So I typically use your videos to listen. I've had a lot of people in QB Power Hour, and I would love for you to put in the comments if that's true. They say that they only listen to my webinar. They don't really watch it. They don't have time to, but they kind of listen to it in the background, or maybe while they walk, or while they do exercise, or while they cleaning the house. And they just basically stop to look at it if something does call their attention, which leads me to believe that there's going to be a lot bigger audience of people just listening than people listening and watching. The other piece is, even if you don't have a great camera and you have a sort of a medium quality webcam, lights over camera. I would get some nice lighting in your room, or invest in lights before you invest in a camera, because lights are always better. I mean, just lights is everything. I would say. Now, narrow over broad. It is better for you to talk about how to reconcile a bank for construction companies versus how to reconcile a bank for a service business. Although it's the exact same content, reconciling a bank is the same thing. So if you're going to do a video about reconciling the bank, I would do a video about reconciling a bank for a construction company. Why? Because more people will do broad topics because they're just looking for followers. They're looking just to grow their channel, whereas less people are willing to risk making a whole video to a very narrow audience. But it is more likely that people will of your specific target will hit that video and watch it, and it's a way to have a comparison with somebody else that maybe has a similar video with 10,000 views. And also, you only need a couple of conversions. You only really need one or two. You only need one or two people. That's it to convert in order for it to be worth it to you spend an hour or two making a video. So you don't really need really big numbers to see the value on getting leads from it. The other thing is consistency. I think that if you have a consistent length, style, or topic, you're more likely to grow a deeper trust with your audience, even if it's a smaller audience, and more likely to convert. Than if you have a video for 5 minutes, then a video for an hour, then a video outside, then a video inside, a software tutorial. I mean, like if you go all over the place, it's harder to grow your channel. I'm in a different league now because I have 26,000 subscribers. I have quite a bit of people following me, and I've been doing this for 5 years. I can afford to be all over the place. For the people that are getting started, I wouldn't. I would go as narrow as possible and consistently hit that. The other thing is you want to have a predictable frequency. And this has to do with look at TV shows. TV shows are Tuesdays at 9, right? Thursdays at 8, Sundays at 10, because you want to program your audience to think about you at least once a week. So I would say weekly videos at a specific date and time is the single most powerful. This is why QB Power Hour is live every other Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern, because people think on Thursdays, people will wake up on a Thursday. A lot of you wake up on a Thursday and say, is today a QB Power Hour? Think about it. Think about how many Thursdays you wake up and automatically think, is there a QB Power Hour today? Now, I can't do it weekly. I just can't. I don't have the time to do that. I wish I could do them weekly. If I could bring some other people to create content, we probably could. But once you program people at a specific date and time it is, they think about you. And what you really want is that real estate in your customers' minds. That's when you have power. When people think about you and you're doing nothing, you're doing absolutely nothing, and people are thinking about you. So that's why it's important to have a consistent date and time. Of course, if you can do daily videos, that would be incredible. But I would say at least your goal should be getting into a cycle where you do them weekly. The other thing you can do is you can record your client sessions. Look, sometimes you're training your clients on how to do something remotely, and you can ask them, hey, you mind if I record your session? Now, if you record the client session, and maybe you learn through video editing how to block out sensitive client information, you could essentially cut those videos, that tutorial, and make them into videos. You may have to think about, do I want to keep my client's voice in this? Should I just do my portion? It's just an option. And most important thing is engagement. You want to tell people, comment. You want to say at the end of your video, hey, did you like the video? I would love to hear your comments. Or you want to end the video by saying, if you like this topic, what else do you think I should cover in the future? Or, hey, did I miss anything in the process? What do you think I should cover on, or what would you do different on the video? Tell people to comment. The comments are gold, and I'll talk about how I use comments to create content in the future. You also want to tell people to share. Hey, if you know someone that would love this video, share it. You want to tell people like you literally want to make the thumbs up sign on the screen and say, please hit like, because you want people to hit like, because those likes and those shares increase the probabilities of more people watching your videos. You also want to promote the videos in your Facebook page. You want to promote them in Twitter, whatever you have, and if even possible, embed them into your website. If you have a WordPress website, it's actually really simple to copy and paste the embed link and create a page where you maybe summarize via text your video and you embed the video, and then you're basically double dipping on the content. You're creating YouTube content and you're also creating a website content with the embedded video. And the last, I think, golden tip I will give you, it's 6 to 7 minutes. This is from my personal experience from 5 years of YouTubing. The average watch time across all my videos in my channel, and I got videos of 20 minutes, I got videos of an hour, I got videos of 2 hours, is between 6 and 7 minutes. So what that tells me, and by the way, I'm giving you inside information. This is information that I shouldn't share because it's one of the most valuable pieces of information I have generated from my efforts. This tells me that the target audience that watches my videos has an average attention span of 6 to 7 minutes. So that tells me how long optimally my videos should be. So if I was sitting in your chair and you're thinking about video strategy for next year, I would create at least weekly videos of 6 to 7 minutes on a narrow topic, released on the exact same day of the week with complete content. Don't tease. I look, one of the things that I hate is tease videos. Videos where they only show you three, you know, three things that you need to do, but they don't show you the fourth or the fifth that really is the answer. So I think it's just extremely important. Beyond, I mean, I can't stress this enough. It is extremely important that you create complete content. Don't do none of that BS where you give half the information and tell people, call me if you want more. Forget about that. That's car salesman's technique. I know that in your mind it makes sense to do because you want people to call you and hire you, but don't do that. Be the person that gives complete information so people see you as a value provider, not as a person just teasing. Now, specifically, what software do I use for screen capture and editing? So if you have a PC, I would recommend Camtasia. It's $250 one-time fee. You could also look at Adobe Premiere, which is $20 a month. So if you're more of a, you want to pay something monthly, Adobe Premiere is actually a more powerful software than Camtasia, but it's a little bit more professional. In my opinion, it's a lot harder to use. I think the very best way to get started is for sure Camtasia. If you're on a Mac, it's sort of a toss-up for me between ScreenFlow and Camtasia because I've been using ScreenFlow for 6 years and I absolutely love it. But I've been learning Camtasia because I do a lot of the Camtasia tutorials. I will give you at the end of the year, I mean at the end of the presentation, I'll give you a link. It's in the slides where I have all my tutorials, Camtasia tutorials, ScreenFlow tutorials, so you can look for yourself and kind of decide what kind of software you would like to use. And a lot of folks that use Mac, they use Final Cut Pro. I don't even bother with that. I don't know how to use it. I don't spend too much time on it. Okay, let me do another polling question real quick, just so I can get all my polling questions out of the way. And the polling question is, how much money, now we're talking about time, I'm talking about money. How much money are you currently spending as a percentage of your revenue to do marketing? And I'm going to leave the polling question up for a couple of minutes here. So how much money as a percentage of your revenue are you currently spending on marketing? Now, for the folks that are answering zero, put in the comments below, if you don't mind, whether whether you think you have enough clients or you would definitely if you think about it, you definitely would love to have more clients. And I think absolutely that spending money in marketing, it's something that's crucial, but even better, spending time in marketing, it's even better. Now a lot of folks say, nah, screw it, I have enough clients, I don't want new clients. You know what? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that having enough clients is actually not a thing. I think that you should always have a pipeline of new clients. Always have a pipeline of new clients. That way, if a client turns sour, you have no issue just getting rid of them and replacing them with a better client. A client that pays more, a client that satisfies your personal goals, a client that's more in line with what you want to achieve long term with your business. Okay, but a lot of folks just say I can't take any more clients. That's fine. Don't do marketing because you want to take a new client. Do marketing so you have a pipeline of clients. So when you want to get rid of the bad ones, it's something that you do it without worrying about it at all. Because I think that way too many accountants, in my opinion, uh, deal with bad clients because they have to, because they pay the bills, because they're so afraid of losing that revenue, but they really wish they could just get rid of those bad clients without having to worry about it. So I think marketing allows you to do that. It absolutely does. Okay, so let me close that polling question. Actually, let me leave it up for a little bit while because we only got 84% of the vote. So please put your answer there. Okay, all right. I had to ask for some water because I haven't drank water in the last 45 minutes. Okay, all right. Let me go ahead and close the polling question here. And I'll show the results real quick just in case you're wondering. So 30% of you, and we have 400 people on the webinar, spend zero money in marketing. Zero. That's that's incredible. I something I just can't fathom. Thank you. I just quite don't understand why people spend zero money in marketing. Then 51% of you spend between 1 to 5% of your revenue. I think that's about right. That's the majority of people. And then some folks are getting to that 10 and that 20% mark, which again, if you're growing and expanding your practice, I think that you should be spending quite some money on marketing. Now, I will tell you the alternative to spending money is spending time. And I think YouTube videos is the alternative to spending money because it doesn't cost anything other than spending time. Now, let's talk about the bare bones equipment. Most people have a laptop that has a built-in webcam, and most people can afford $20 for a headset. I'm wearing one right now that I'm doing the webinar on. It's a $20 headset. Okay, the one that you see on the screen. And that's really all you need to make a video: a laptop with a webcam and a $20 headset. Now you can also make videos with your phone. You can put a phone in a little stand and just speak to the phone. The most valuable equipment you need is your brain. Most valuable equipment is your brain, your thoughts, your ideas, your experience, and your voice. That is the most valuable piece. Don't worry about equipment. Don't worry about none of that stuff. Okay, think about content first. Focus on content first, and then as you get business from it, then you upgrade to equipment. But that being said, let's do a quick rundown of the equipment that I recommend, and I put the prices up there based on what's in Amazon today. So these are Amazon prices. So for a webcam, the Logitech 920, great choice, $50. It's got HD quality. For the headset, you can get the MPOW USB. Just search it in Amazon. It's 21 bucks, the same one that I'm using now. If you're looking for a little bit higher end microphone, but you don't really need a big one, you get the Blue Snowball. It's about $50. Or you can do a lavalier mic, which are the mics that you put right here on your lavalier on your shirt, and you can basically hide them a little bit better than you can with this big microphone. I mean, depending on what type of videos you're making, like for example, I have this microphone that's pretty big, and sometimes it blocks a little bit of my face, and it just kind of gets on the way. So depending on the size of the microphone and the size of your desk, you may want to consider all of that stuff when choosing a microphone. Now, if you're going to do videos on your phone, which is, obviously you can't do software tutorials on your phone, but you can do thought leadership videos, videos about what you think about stuff like that. You can get some, pretty simple flex grips or flex stands. And this one you see on the screen is basically a tripod that has sort of flexible legs, and you can use them either to just stand them on a desk, or you can, for the flexible legs, you can basically grab them and you have them as a standalone sort of selfie stick. If you get a Z grip adapter, which is the Z stylus, the one you see there for 15 bucks, you can use that to grab the phone, and you can attach that to a tripod. And most of them have a little bracket in the top where you can add a light or a microphone. If you want to do videos outside where there's a lot of background noise, definitely consider not using the built-in microphone on your phone. Use a small shotgun microphone, the one that you see on the picture with like a little fussy gray cover. That's the Rode Video Mic Micro. It's about 60 bucks. I think it's a fantastic microphone for using with a phone, especially if you're going to use it with a selfie stick style or something outside. And of course, you could always get a lavalier mic and have it right there on your chest, and that does bring out, just kind of filter out some of the background noise. Again, lights over camera. Like right now, I don't have much light. If you're watching the webcam, if you're watching the recording, you're not going to get the webcam. But for example, I just have this little light that I'm turning on, and you can definitely see the difference in the quality of my face in the live webinar with light and without light. And I didn't upgrade the camera. All I did was turn the light on and have a light right in front of my face. So on the next slide, Actually, I have a slide with the lights. If you're gonna do videos with a digital camera, I would buy a Canon for sure. That's my favorite digital camera to use, and you can get the smallest, least expensive one, which is the Canon SL2. Is 600 bucks. Best autofocus on the market. If you're looking for a flexible tripod that works on an iPhone and a digital camera, definitely get the Joby Gorilla Pod, which is about 45 bucks. Is the one you're seeing on the screen, and the same one that I'm showing through my webcam now if you're watching this live. And if you're going to attach a sort of a big microphone to a digital camera, consider the Tascam SGC 598. Now, you could also do the vlogger setup where you actually attach a camera to the flexible tripod and just kind of walk around and record. So if you're looking a little bit higher quality than a webcam, or you want to do something outside, or maybe not use a phone, you can those flexible tripods help you with that sort of setup as well. Now for lights, if you want sort of a bigger light, like a studio light, something you're going to have permanently on your desk, behind your monitor, something pointing straight at your face, you can get for about 100 bucks. You can get a nice kit from Newer. The one you see right there, it's 75 bucks for the light and about $20 for the stand. But if you're looking for something smaller, more mobile, there's a couple of choices. I mean, you got the really small ring lights that are good to clip on a phone or for like sort of selfie style videos with a phone, or the one that you see there to the right, the Newer N160, which is the one that I have attached to the flexible tripod that I showed on the picture earlier that I'm showing through the webcam now. So that's only about 40 bucks with the diffuser, and that's battery powered. So you can put that on your desk. You can take that when you travel, and that's really not that big. It's pretty much a little bit smaller than the size of your head. Then there's a couple of interesting accessories, just things that I've been experimenting with. You can get this thing called the Rode or SC6, which is a little adapter that allows you to plug two lavalier mics to the adapter. So if you want to do a video where you have two lavalier mics and you have two subjects, maybe you're doing an interview, that's a great accessory to use if you got two lavalier mics. Or if you have a USB microphone, like for example, the headset I'm talking through right now, it's a USB microphone. If I have an iPhone, I can get a Lightning to USB adapter. I think there's such a thing for Android as well, but I don't have an Android. And you can plug a USB microphone that you normally plug into a computer, can plug that to your phone. So you can use your phone to go live or create videos on your phone as well. Now, let's talk about Facebook versus YouTube and why I would choose one over the other. So think of YouTube as a place where people would search and find your videos after a search. Remember, YouTube videos show up on Google searches. Let me give you an example. So I'm going to go into Google here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go into Google and I'm going to type reconcile bank in QuickBooks. And I know I mentioned reconcile bank a lot. It's just this is the stuff that people search quite a bit. So you search, I search for reconcile bank in QuickBooks and notice that some of the searches are actually video results. So even if it's not your video that shows up on the result, I'm going to click on one of them, for example. None of them are my video. Even if you do that, you also have the chance that maybe one of your videos will show up on the right side as a recommended video. So for example, there's one video here that is my video that is being recommended after a video that somebody else made. So you can piggyback on other people's videos with this Google recommended results. And just remember that YouTube is a good source where people are searching for content. So that would be like the main difference between Facebook and YouTube. I think that YouTube is for people that want to search, and Facebook is when you want to reach your existing network. Both YouTube and Facebook allow you to go live. So that's actually huge in my opinion. Both allow you to go live, which means that you can just be outside, be in your car, just be, let's just say, chilling at your house, lack of a better term, and you can just pop up the phone, go live, and do a video real quick. What's on your mind? So that's one of the things I love about both platforms. So with YouTube, it's about building subscribers, about getting feedback with comments, about people sharing them, about getting statistics about how long people watch the videos and having searchable. And Facebook is about finding clients within your network, getting your friends, reminding your friends. You have friends that know what you do. You have friends that know you're an accountant. You have friends that know people that could potentially recommend you business, but they don't do it because they're not top of mind. So if you are creating video content, you're creating valuable information in the marketplace, maybe creating a group, building a community around your cause, people, you're gonna remind people what you do, and that they're more likely to recommend you. So I think that stuff is just extremely valuable. Now, when I think about pre-recorded videos, I think of tutorials, how-tos, tips and tricks, anything with complex topics, maybe even interviews where people want to edit some of what they say. Anything with pricing, numbers, or graphs, you want to think of pre-recorded because you want to make sure it's right. When I think of live, I think about your thoughts, your opinions, updates, news, or just going live with a friend, a colleague, or a client. Think about going live with your clients. Share your client's story in YouTube or Facebook. Your clients will love to let people know that. Now, what are the pros and cons? I like going live. I do a lot of live. When you go live, you can't edit your mistakes. But the good thing about going live is that it's done. You did it, it's done, you created a video. So yes, it'll give you more anxiety because if you make a mistake, the mistakes are live and it's done. But if you go live, you're more likely to create content than if you do pre-recorded. I think a lot of us will spend too much time re-recording, editing, adjusting videos. Most folks, when they start pre-recording, they end up not finishing. Where I think the other way, if you go live, you are more likely. Um, Again, I think you're more likely um, to create content. Now, let me real quick. I'm going to show you how to create your YouTube channel. I hope we have enough time for that. Um, let me show you. So let me just sign out for a second. So I'm going to go into youtube.com. And let's say you don't have a Gmail account, you don't have a YouTube channel. You click on sign in. It is this simple. I'm going to create a new account. So I'm going to go to create account. By the way, if you already have a Gmail account, you're good to go. You can log in with that. So I'm going to create a new account for me real quick. I'm just creating a brand new YouTube account. It's really a Google account. And just putting an email here. Okay, and I'll put a password. Okay, so I'm literally creating a Gmail account or a Google account from scratch. Put my email, my password. Okay, and I'm gonna real quick verify the email just to make sure I don't have any. It's just part of the process. You have to verify the account when you first create a Google account or a Gmail account. There's my verification code. Copy that. Verify. Put a phone number. Okay, can I get away without putting a date of birth? I can't. So let me just put anything here. It doesn't really matter. And rather not say. Next. Okay, so go over the privacy and terms. I agree and done. I created a Gmail account, a Google account literally in seconds. As I go to YouTube and you look in the right hand side of the screen, you now see your login. You officially have a YouTube channel. If you click on my channel, there's nothing there. It will force you to create the channel. You have nothing there, no videos. And to upload your first video, you click here where it says upload. You click on upload video. You look for the video in your computer, wherever it happens to be, something that you have pre-recorded. You grab that video, click open, and it starts uploading the video. At this point, you choose the topic. So let's say this is reconciling your bank in QuickBooks. You decide if you want to go public or unlisted. So real quick, unlisted is a video that you don't want the public to see. Unlisted would be a video that you have to give somebody that link. So that little link you see there, so if you want to create a video that's secret just for your clients, you can do that. You can add it to a playlist. You can add your description, add some tags. I'm just going to hit cancel real quick. So I'm not going to go through uploading the whole video. And it's really just that simple. So I'm just kind of showing you that is that simple to do. I have a couple of slides here that I'm going to show you. Let me open up my slides again. I have a couple of slides here where I show you additional resources. So let me just fast forward here to the end because I know some folks need to leave on top of the hour. So if you actually go to this website, I just want to make sure that I do cover everything because I do have a couple of extra thoughts I want to give you around a couple of ideas around this. But if you do have to leave at top of the hour, that's totally okay. All right, let's see. Okay, somebody's asking me, do you put your videos on LinkedIn? I don't, but I don't see any problem why not. I actually think that that's totally okay. I think that if you want to put your videos on LinkedIn, that's valuable. I personally don't. I don't know anything about LinkedIn marketing. It's never been my area of strength. Never been my area of strength. Okay. All right. So I got the polling question up. Make sure that you answer it if you want your CPE certificate. Okay. Let me hit on close poll. Beautiful. All right. Okay. So we're done with the webinar officially if you need to leave, but I have a couple of more slides to go over. So if you want to stay, I'm going to go ahead and cover those. So the folks that want to stay. So I show you how to create your own YouTube channel and how to upload a video. Now I'm going to show you something that's huge, I think. It's called YouTube Director on Site. And a lot of people just don't know. People don't know that this exists. And this is huge. So YouTube is doing something called YouTube Director on Site. Let me go to the website to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go into Google and type YouTube Director on Site. And this may or may not blow your mind, but I have a feeling that it would. So let me sign out for a second. So what YouTube did is they created a YouTube Director on Site. Sorry, YouTube Director on Site. What YouTube did is they created this thing where they will send a professional video, a film person and editor to your office or to your house, whatever it happens to be, and they would go and they record a 30-minute ad, professionally done. They'll bring lights, they'll bring cameras, all that stuff. They'll go and they'll book the shot, and then if you like the video, you then you pay at least $350 into YouTube advertising, and they will make the video public, and that money will go through ad revenue. So when people are searching something in YouTube, and they kind of help you how to do YouTube advertising, your video, your professionally made video, can be shown on YouTube, and for $350, I think that's minimal. Now, I'm going to show you mine real quick. I'm going to go into my Facebook page because I actually put it on my Facebook page because I just think it's very nice and beautiful. So I have this video that was professionally done as the cover page in my Facebook page, and look how great this looks. I know through a webinar you don't really get to see it because it's a little jaggedy, but you see the video quality, you see the flow. So it's actually a great video to have. I paid $350 worth of advertising budget to get this video made and be posted into YouTube, and I downloaded it and posted it in my Facebook page. So I think that this YouTube Director on Site is an incredible resource that a lot of folks are not taking advantage of. Now, I don't know if they're available all over the country. I don't know if there's a limited number of cities. I don't know if they have a limited number of businesses they do it for, but I think that it's a very small investment for a really high value that you get in exchange. So strongly suggest that you look into YouTube Video Director on Site to get a video professionally done for YouTube advertising. The other question that people ask quite a bit is, how do you come up with topics? And what I do is I basically just search stuff in YouTube. I start writing a couple of keywords, how to, and then YouTube gives you the top 10 searches. So I typically use the information that shows up in that autocomplete on the top 10 searches to figure out what is the top 10 things that people are searching the most just by typing QuickBooks and how to QuickBooks or something like that, or how to accounting, something like that. And then that would actually let you more or less, that will let you know more or less what are the top things that are being searched. Now you could also look at the top results. So you look at a video that's getting the most hits and study it. You know, how long is it? How many likes it has? How long has it been? Watch the video. You know, what opportunities did the person miss? Look at the title, look at the description, look at the comments, and use that information to then figure out what type of video you would like to make, and always update. I mean, we live in a time where a video from 6 months ago, it's an old video. So if there's a great video that's 6 months old about reconciling the banks or whatever, make a new one. People will always want to watch the newest stuff, especially with software and technology. Now, when you post a video, everything matters. The description of the video matters. The the links that you put to encourage people to go visit your website matters. The longer description matters. All this stuff is searchable. So you want to make sure that your description and any links that you want people to click on and the tags all goes hand in hand with your strategy about what do you want to get, what do you want to get with that, what do you want to get out of creating that video in the long run. Now, for example, this is something very common. I'll get a comment in my video that says you should go more in depth in accounts payable. You should go more depth in accounts receivable. These comments are great. People are telling you what they want to see. And I don't know if these are colleagues. I don't know if these are potential customers. I don't know if these are people from some random country where they would never hire me ever. All this stuff is possible. But if you start seeing patterns and start seeing people hit like, for example, this one comment got a lot of likes, that's letting me know what are the topics that I should be working on next. Now, how to monetize or how to make money from your videos? Well, first of all, in YouTube, if you have 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 watch hours within 12 months, YouTube allows you to monetize. Now, monetize means that they can run ads in your videos and YouTube pays you half of the ad revenue they get from that. Now, I've been doing YouTube for 5 years. I have over 500 videos. I have 28,000 subscribers and 3.5 million lifetime views. My monetization account pays me about $2,500 a month now, right? So, do you want to work this hard for this long to then try to live off YouTube revenue? No, absolutely not. Now, will I send the check back? No. I'll definitely take the money from Google and I'll keep it and I'll enjoy it. But monetization, which is an option, is not really somewhere that you can make a living off. So if you can make a couple $100 on top of getting customers, yeah, I don't think anything wrong with that. Also, if you build a particular fan base, you can create something called a Patreon account. And Patreon is a website that allows people to pay a monthly fee to have access to maybe some of your private videos. And you can use a platform like Vimeo that allows you to password protect your videos or limit who can watch those videos. Google's not that good at that. Vimeo's much better at that. And you can combine it and create some sort of revenue stream from it. I also mentioned earlier that if you want to sell your videos, if that's what you want to do, consider selling them through Teachable or Udemy. The difference is with Teachable, you have to bring the customers. So Teachable is your own platform where you sell videos to your own customers, where Udemy is a platform where you put it there and they bring you the customers. They pay you a split, a percentage of what they get. And at the end of the day, honestly, I end up selling my videos for like $3 to $5 each in Udemy. So it's not a lot of money, but they bring a lot of volume. So they'll bring 1,000 students, people that just looking to buy videos. You can also do private webinars that you charge for. Okay, I've done maybe 2 to 3 a year where I charge a couple $100 and I go really micro in a topic and people will pay for that because I have a followership. I have people that trust that I create good content and they would pay for a private webinar. Even customers would pay for a private webinar. How to save money on your taxes. You can do a private webinar. People would prefer to pay $100 in a 2-hour private webinar how to save money on taxes than pay an accountant $500. So you have to think about that is possible. And I think the most important thing about quote unquote monetizing your videos is being able to command a better price. I think I can price my services better and higher than my competition because I have a YouTube channel, I have videos, I have ways to prove that I know what I'm talking about. And I get a higher closing rate. So when people call me, it's very rarely they'll say no. Like they call me, they're ready to buy because they've seen my videos. Now, what are some of the non-monetized ways to measure success? I think branding, videos will help your branding, right? You have a brand of being a generous person with your knowledge. You have a brand of being a knowledgeable person. You have a brand of being a person that shares content with the world. That's strong. You also get collaboration or opportunities. People will watch your video and say, maybe you can help me with a client, and they'll bring you in as a subcontractor or bring you in to collaborate on a deal. It happens to me quite a bit. I even get folks refer me. I have other accountants that refer me their clients because they don't specialize in the stuff that I do. You generate leads over time. So you will generate leads over time. And at some point, it will close, or at least you have a list of leads for the future. You can build a social media buzz. You get other people talking about you because of a great video you created. You build reputation, right? Great videos give you a great reputation. You can reduce your client support time by having them watch your videos. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, educate your team. And finally, I now have a business model of video. I'm a content creator. So I get free stuff. People send me microphones to review. People send me software to review all the time. Some people pay me to review their software or review their content or sponsor my webinars. Sometimes I get hired to produce a video for someone else. Get interviews with people that otherwise I wouldn't. Now that I can say, look, I have a YouTube channel, I would love to interview you. And the interview is not business, but it could turn into business. You never know who follows the other person that you're interviewing that will likely watch your video. You get invited to podcasts. Obviously, you have the opportunity to potentially sell videos or training programs. My favorite is you get a celebrity status. When I go to conferences, people come to me all the time and say, "Hey, I know you. I've been watching your stuff." People I never met before, and I'm just well known in the community. And my customers or potential customers, they even get excited when they talk to me because they've been watching my videos for years and they finally could afford to pay me or whatever it happens to be. And I have a lot of colleagues that request me to help them with coaching and consulting on how to promote their own business. So again, there's a new video checklist. It's on my website. It's sort of like a cheat sheet, how to go about thinking about creating the video, topic, keywords, target audience, all that stuff. It's part of there. I also have this thing called the content planner spreadsheet, which is a spreadsheet where you can maybe plan for your content. Think about all the videos you want to create in the next week, and it's got all the little check boxes and stuff that I use. Am I going to record this? Am I going to go live? Am I going to edit it? How long is it going to be, more or less? What type of video is going to be? Just a little bit of a help if you want to plan to create some content. So again, you can download all that stuff off my video marketing resources site, which is hectorgarcia.com/SNH. And also strongly recommend that you join the Facebook group called VMAP, which is a Facebook group where I invited only the folks that are going through the journey of creating videos, and we sort of help each other and collaborate with each other. So that's called video marketing for accountants. And I don't think there are any questions here. I'm looking at the questions box to see if there's any questions. I think I've answered all the questions. And that's it. So let's wrap things up. Upcoming events related to our community. We have QuickBooks Connect in San Jose, California, November 5th and 7th, largest QuickBooks conference in the world. And you go to quickbooksconnect.com for that. And upcoming webinars, we have the next one is going to be 7/12 and then 7/26. And if you like generally my content that I create around accounting advisory, that sort of thing, strongly recommend that you join my My podcast is called The Art of Advisory. It's on Facebook. We go live on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Nothing to do with accounting, nothing to do with QuickBooks. It's really just sort of thought leadership, what I think about my transition into offering more advisory services. And that's something that you should consider joining because we create a lot of content around that. So that's called Art of Advisory. You can find those on iTunes, podcast style. You can find those on YouTube, or you can join us on Facebook Live. And that's it. So sorry we went a little bit over. And hopefully you found this useful. Would love to start seeing some of you guys create your videos, create your YouTube channel. It will be awesome to contact me and tell me, look at my first video. That's something I would definitely enjoy seeing. How many folks are actually taking action after a webinar like this. And it's the first time I cover this topic in QB Power Hour. This is something that I used to charge for webinars for this, and I do this in live presentations in conferences. It's my first time exposing all this content to the public in QB Power Hour. So hopefully some people will definitely take action and use this for their own practice. That's it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.